Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you guys had a wonderful week. My name is Bjorn, and let me tell you a little bit about what happened this week. As my girlfriend was driving home with our 10-month-old child the other day, she noticed that there was a kind of popping sound and a thumping sound. So, without even thinking about it, I jumped in the car and I started to drive. And as soon as I hit some pavement, I started to hear a thump, thump, thump. I recognize that sound anywhere. That's the sound of a flat tire. So I rolled it back, got it up, jacked up, and tried to fill the tire up. Once again, without even thinking about doing anything else. After 4 or 5 times of trying to fill the tire up, I noticed that it was getting nowhere. So I went ahead and reached around the back to try and see if, maybe the tire jumped off the rim. Well, as I was running my hand across the tire, I lost my fist inside the tire. So, went ahead and tried to pull the tire off just like I normally would, but I noticed something was a little off about the lug nuts. You see, whoever had this car before us, they decided to put the inverted lug nuts on. I believe they're called spline lugs, but I'm not 100% sure. So we went through the whole process of trying to find out where to get one of those without buying a whole kit. Took us to the local tire shop, picked one up for about $5. Now, if you don't have one of these, you might want to double check your lugs, especially if you buy a used car. This was a lifesaver for me. You go ahead and take this, you drop it into a 19mm deep well, tires came right off. This week I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do for a video. I am horrible at planning stuff. The AK video was done on the fly, along with the introduction video. Not a huge fan of planning stuff. A couple months ago I ran into a video on this thing called a fidget toy. For all of you who don't know what that is, it's something like this. You just take it, spin it, gives you something to do, gives me something to do while I'm sitting at my desk. This was made out of a kitchen cutting board. I didn't have access to anything else, so it was plastic, it's easy to cut, it works. I pulled the bearings out of my skateboard. I don't ever use that anymore, so put them to better use and went from there. So today what we're going to go over is a basic idea of how I made that. It's a really simple process actually. The first couple ones I made out of some like 3-ply, 4-ply plywood, whatever. Those broke almost instantly. That's when I got the idea for plastic. After taking the cutting board and about 3 failed attempts, I finally got my first fidget toy done. But I wasn't a huge fan of exactly how the texture came out, how the bearing stuck out of the cutting board itself, and I wanted to go find some thicker plastic. Went over to the local Ace store and found myself some clear acrylic sections. They were thicker than the cutting board that I was using, but it was expensive. However, a couple weeks back, I decided to clean out the garage. I don't think it's ever been cleaned since I've been alive, but we needed it done. We had a car to get in here before the real snow started to set in, and I needed somewhere to do work. Also a video place to record these videos for you. While I was cleaning, I found this. It's just a thick piece of plastic. So today what we're going to go over is, you guessed it, making a fidget toy out of this piece of plastic. Let's go ahead and get to it. Here we have that piece of plastic I was just showing you. I've already went ahead out and traced out my outline for this. Sorry about that, just thought I'd save a little time. Essentially all you're going to do is, I believe it was 9 centimeters, 9 centimeters, 9 centimeters, cut it in half, cut it in half, cut it in half, find your center, drill it out, put in your bearings. Pretty self-explanatory. So let's go ahead and get this thing cut up. Also might be a good idea to make sure you give yourself enough room. Come on. As you're about to see, I went ahead and did that last side of it. The device that I'm using to hold my camera and trying to cut that at the same time would have been way too much of a pain. So let's get back to it. Then what you're going to go ahead and do is, this is my old one. I'm going to go ahead and cheat a little bit But you're going to find that exact center. It should be right about there. Yeah, that looks about right. Then you're just going to go ahead and take your spade bit. I found that whoa, that is not the right spade bit. Then you're going to go ahead and take a spade bit. Me personally, I found that the 7/8 is the best size to fit the bearings in. And you're just going to take it, center it up. Sometimes it also helps if you clamp it down. And there's your hole. Go ahead and take your escape bearings. And there it is. Pretty simple. Obviously, you can go ahead and make yours. You can try to make sure your measurements are more exact. It's getting cold out here, so I kind of went a little faster than I should have. Make sure you go ahead and find your absolute center. It'll give it a lot better spin. It'll spin a lot better if it's out of balance, or if it's not out of balance. Also, I don't know if you can see it behind me, but when I was cleaning out the garage, I found an old roller cast. I don't know what the hell it's called. It's a thing with wheels on it. I'd been wanting a toolbox that I could run back and forth between my main toolbox and where I'm working at. So what I went ahead and did is this. This is going to be my new workstation. As you can see, I went ahead and put some press board, went and fitted it to the top of it, drilled out some holes up here for my tools, obviously. Take everything. Speaking of which, where'd that screwdriver go? That's better. Well, you guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for today. Next week, I'll try to be a little bit better planned. Not 100% sure. Everything's getting kind of busy at work. Also, we're trying to plan for the holidays. I do know that coming up in January, my younger brother will be visiting with his wife. He's coming all the way from North Carolina, where he's stationed at Fort Bragg. He's a Army Airborne. I think he's a generator. I don't know. If he watches this, I'm sure he'll correct me on it. But what we're looking at doing is, I've got my AK-47 that you've already seen. I'm going to try and find somebody who will let me use their AR-15. And I want to do a Army Airborne versus Air Force Security Forces, AK-47 versus AR-15 video. That should be a lot of fun. So we'll have that coming up. Well, everyone, I hope you had fun tonight. Let me know if you found this project interesting. We'll try to find more like it. Maybe come up with some better designs. That's going to do it for now. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Have a great rest of your week. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe. Let's keep projects coming. Thank you.